Hello everyone and welcome. We've got speakers here today talking about from 5 to 100, the Debian Brasília Community story. I'll leave it to the team to introduce themselves and take it away, guys.
Thank you. So I would like to start thanking Debian for having us here today. It's been an awesome event, and also introduce our community for those who don't know us. So this is our people that are presenting here today. So we have Aquila, me, Carlos, Lucas Kanashiro, that's in the other side there, Sergio, and Thais. So in our agenda, we're going to cover what is the Debian Brasília community, the origin, like where we start everything, why we are having this talk here today, the goals from the last year, face-to-face events, processes, tools, and the goals for the future. So to start Brasília, let me show you where Brasília is. So it's in exact middle of Brazil. It was a planned city, architecture for that, in the shape of a plane. And different from Curitiba, that we have the other DebConf, was a little bit down from Brazil. So at the beginning, we have Paulo Meirelles and Terceiro. Terceiro is a Debian developer. They moved to Brasília to teach in the university. And when they get there, they saw a lot of students not using at all Linux or engaging with open source projects. So they start sharing that with people and grabbing students, showing Linux, installing Linux, and that's where it all started. So they also show for the people Debian and also how to contribute, because Terceiro was a DD at that time. So most of us came through that flow, like that I remember from Terceiro. We have Lucas Kanashiro that after became a Debian developer as well. And from that, like, was more like 5 years ago that all started, or probably a little bit more. And after that start, we also, we came, like Gilmar was another person that came from the army and created the Debian Brazilian brand that we have today. And also start bringing more people and engaging. And then Kanashiro joined and start talking in the university, whatever he had some time there about Debian, trying to teach people how to contribute as well. And from that we start doing some, every Thursday we went to a Calango Hacker Club to meet, to talk about something. We also always have a topic to talk about. And that's the basic beginning. We also have Joênio here in this picture that is here in the conference from Brasília. And that was really cool that time. So some events that we also did during the classes there, we tried to talk to the teachers and say, to the professors and say, oh, can we have like 15 minutes of your class to talk about the project and show, like, if people are interested, just talk to us, go to the Telegram group or the IRC group that we have. That was one of the other things that we did at the beginning. And we still do that.
And why we gather people, so why we created the community. So the idea was to gather people to contribute to Debian and gather people to become user to Debian. So we had some trouble getting people together and teaching people interested in contributing. So we arranged a lot of face-to-face meetings during that time before the pandemic. So we are trying, person by person, try to teach a little more about Debian. Later, we started doing online meetings so that people during pandemic could also join. The online meetings, the last photo is here from DebConf last week. The idea was also that in Brasília, people lived far from each other, so online meetings could bring everyone together in an easy way. So We also attracted more people outside Brasilia to our meetings. So, for example, Charles, Leonardo, Ricardo, João Nóbrega, and a lot of other people that started contributing to Debian just because of that, so like Siqueira, Vitor, Berlin. And also, one of the ideas was to bring newcomers. So people were interested in contributing to Debian in the university and in Brasilia, but they did not know how to contribute to Debian. And it is not easy in Debian to find good first issues. So we as a community were helping newcomers to find things to do and how to start and just get the first contribution so you can become more active in the community. Also, why is this talk happening? So last year we prepared a talk, how we were building our local community at the time. So we were presenting what was Debian Brasilia and what were our goals. So what we would like to achieve in the next year. And here are our goals from last year. So we were trying to go back to face-to-face events. So DebConf 2022 was one of those. The first time we were meeting and talking about the community. So we tried to bring MiniDebConf Brazil to Brasilia for the first time, maintain internal tools so we could use in the community and help other people from Brazil, document tutorials. So there are not a lot of tutorials in Portuguese. So we were trying to add more tutorials to our own language since 80% of Brazilian people don't speak English. We have more packages being published and maintained by local members. So we were trying to engage more in packaging activities and collect more metrics about the local group so we could share with the rest of the Debian community.
So moving to face-to-face meetings. After Kosovo, wait. Let me talk a little bit about here. So after Kosovo, we have a BoF with the Brazil team there that we discussed that we should have more face-to-face meetings in Brazil. And Paulo, Lenharo, some people from Brazil that were in that meeting, they said, oh, why don't you guys organize a MiniDebConf in Brasilia? That would be awesome. You can talk, like, get all people from the university, people from outside of Brasilia can come and know a new city, and that's exactly what we did. So this was 25, 26, and 27 of May this year. We did the MiniDebConf, which is the first MiniDebConf we did in Brazil. Before that, we did a micro DebConf, that is a smaller DebConf than a mini one. It was just one day. So yeah, that was all the people. This is the group photo that we took there, and it was an awesome place to share knowledge. So how we did it? We start finding volunteers first. That's without people we don't have a workforce to do something. So we start grabbing the people around the Debian Brasilia that were already doing something, outside volunteers as well. Then we moved to find the place to host. After that, we moved to the website. So currently we have a website, brasilia.debian.net, that we forked and created the site for the conference using the same framework, which is Jekyll, that we use. And also feeling that we need to create some other things to support the inscriptions of the people that are going to join. So we created an API, a backend. We added some observability on top of this API, and we also did some other cool features on that is checking via QR code. So the user would receive a QR code to check in the event. Some really good stuff that we bring. And this is something that those three topics is something that we are trying to contribute to the Debian conference right now. The observability and the checking, we are trying to bring as features, and we're probably going to do a lightning talk this week for that. During the conference, we also tried to do a video team. We had a small video team, just one person, which is Valesio. And we didn't have all the infrastructure that we have here in DebConf, so we tried to do with whatever we have in front of us. So Valesio took his computer, plugged in a power, grabbed a cable of internet, download the GT OBS, grab his GoPro, 2 Bluetooth microphones, and we streamed via YouTube because we didn't have any hardware to host the streaming. So we did like that. I was not in this MiniDeb conference, but I was dealing with the streamer from Ireland, and it worked. Like we had the streaming, the website of the conference showing just like we have here. It was a pretty good experience. We want to invest more time on that we're going to talk more. So the statistics that we have. From that MiniDebConf, we have 236 registrations, 125 check-ins, 14 volunteers, 20 talks submitted, 8 Lightning talks, 18 uploads from newcomers, 7 new Debian installations, 7 new contributions to Portuguese language, and 5 sponsors. And that was all effort from everyone that joined there, and we were really proud for doing all these numbers. That was awesome. Also, the DPL sent us an email like thanking for doing all those things. Was very good.
And after MiniDebConf, we also did the Debian Day. So we did the Debian Day for the 30 years of Debian, and we went to the university, University of Brasília, that is in Brasília, and we have about 130 people. So we were teaching about free software. A lot of the people there didn't know free software, so it was for the first time they were learning it. We talked about its principles and etc. And we did also another talk for the introduction to Debian. So the idea was to promote the community and gather more people to contribute and know about free software and Debian.
So now I'm going to talk about the internal process. So here we created a process to bring more people to Debian community and introduce them to Debian. So now I'm going to talk about the contribution process we created. So let me explain this flow chart. So here we have, and we have to choose one package, first of all. After that, we have to create an issue on Salsa. So when we created an issue on Salsa, we have to add an evaluation of the mentor and mentee, the mentor. So after that, we have to wait this, and if the package was not accepted by the sponsor, we have to choose another package. Otherwise, we have to move to development process. So in the development process, we have to make codes and things like that. So we have to, after that, we have to move to open a merge request. In this merge request, we need to send to review, and review the mentor probably may ask for changes. So we have to back again and update the merge request. So after that, we send to review again and send to upload. So the mentor will send the package to FTP master.
Yeah, just a moment there. So why we created this? This is the main point. Like why we need this? So we were organizing all those things in pads. So that's not a good thing to manage, and you lose track sometimes of things. And we wanted to have a well-defined process to create new things, or for the people don't get lost while they're doing something. And that's why we created all of this.
Yes. So, okay. Now I'm going to talk about the process of contribution, the package of Debian. So this week documents a process of contribution, and here made it to introduce newcomers. So we have this process to newcomers. So this documentation explains our interaction step by step between the mentor and the mentee. So now I'm going to talk about the template of issue. So first of all, we have a title, a type, and a description. Also, we have a label too, and this label can indicate a status as to do, doing, or review. So we have this body too, and we have to fill these links about the tracker, salsa, maybe bugs, and the lintian. So we have to point these links and change them. Here we have an example of a package already filled. So this is so useful. This information is so useful for the mentor because it helps to understand what the package do. So when the issue was created and the review was completed, we have to move to development process. So after the code is done, we have to open a merge request. So finally, here we have an example of MER, like merge requests. So here we have a communication flow. So that's me having a conversation, a discussion with Kanashiro. So it's like that. Here we have messages like diff, examples, and changes. So in Brazil, we speak Portuguese, but a bunch of people does not understand English. But we encourage people to use English in merge requests to everyone can understand that. So that's it.
Yeah, before we move to the next one, there's just what why we choose also this, because it keeps track of everything. In the past, we used to have chats or meetings. We talk about the merge request. All the comments there would just speak during a meeting. And we kind of lose a bunch of content when we do that. That's why we migrated to merge request and start writing everything down. We try, as Aquila just said, most of the merge requests that we have are just in English. But if the person are not very confident, we can still keep those in Portuguese. And English is also good because people from outside Debian Brasília Community can join, like any other DD or any other person can just look at them, and if they know how to fix that, can contribute to the merge request as well.
Yeah, and also we have this beautiful tool that is Salsa that we maintain and we use, so it's very, very useful for us. Because you saw that the contribution process is not so fast. It's not going to be a one-day thing, so it will take some time. That's why we are relying also in the Salsa board to keep track of what's been done in our team and people that contribute. We can have a pretty nice idea of, what are the packages open that people can select. Mostly right now, we are first selecting the packages and then open the issues. But the idea for the future is to have a pool of packages that we know that need care and that people can, it's not that difficult for newcomers to contribute to, so the idea is to have them here. After that, when people start to work on the package, they would move to the doing label, and that we can be sure that, this package, the people are working on it. And then after they finish work, they change the label to review, so it goes to the other column. And then we can keep track, because that was right now, we don't have that many contributors, so it's pretty easy to keep track of what's happening. But thinking in the future, if we get a lot of more newcomers, it's way better to have this board to keep track of what's happening, what's not happening. Plus, we have the last column, the issues closed, that give us some statistics of what we done previously and how many packages were uploaded and all that. So it's pretty easy. And I was talking here, you saw a bit that things go from here to here, then come back a bit, then go to the closed one. You've seen this a few slides before, right? It's our process, but this board summarizes everything. That's the main idea. But still, we did find some trouble because people would like do a workshop, packaging workshop during the MiniDebConf, the Debian Day, or any other event that we organize. They would make the first upload to Debian, fixing something, and it's nice. We fixed something, we improved Debian, but then this person would start to not come to the meetings, not contribute anymore, and it was a pretty difficult problem because we didn't know exactly how to solve. The thing that we are trying now, and it's pretty successful, is a mentorship program, because most newcomers, they don't want to ask questions publicly because they think, oh, it's a dumb question, or it's an easy one, everybody will make fun of me if I ask that, so they wouldn't send in the public chats. Or maybe they would come to the meetings, but they wouldn't speak because same thing, or they just didn't talk to everyone. So the idea of this mentorship process is to assign a mentor to this newcomer, and so they can have a closer contact, and in that way it would be easier for him or her or them to reach out the mentor and say, oh, okay, I'm having some difficulties here, how can I improve, how can I do it? And this closer contact is pretty valuable in our opinion. We started this few months ago, maybe after MiniDebConf, and we already have a lot of mentees, like 5 or 6. Aquila is one example, Thais is another one. We do have more people in Brazil that hopefully they can attend the next DebConf. So it's a work in progress, but we are very much enjoying this mentorship process to gather new people and make them contribute every month, every week, and not just stop contributing to Debian. So it's very useful. And also, the person can talk to the mentor and set some goals, like I want to become a DM, I would like to become a DD, and they can talk and go through the process. Okay, you have to do this and that, and then we can set milestones. And then the two of them will do interaction, fixing bugs, open merging requests, making some uploads, and then eventually we go through and reach that milestone, then we can set another milestone, and the process go on. So the mentorship process was a very nice thing that we found. So now we are going to talk about our internal tools.
Yeah. So after having all those things, we also created some internal tools. We deployed some internal tools on our own infrastructure to give more support to the local community. So the first thing is the problem that we were facing at the beginning is about IRC, because it's a good chat, but it's like a barrier for newcomers to the project. I know that there's a bunch of web applications around it, but having a lot, sometimes you get lost. So we wanted to have also something side and easy to use, and that's why we deployed open source of Convos. It's open source software that has a client and a server with a bouncer on it for RSC. And when you create your account on it, will automatically connect you to the OFTC inside Debian Brasília. So you have an instant connection with us, and you can start typing your messages. Also, all the messages will be stored, and if you come back later, you can read them all. So it's pretty good. It's not something very fancy, but it is useful. That's what we needed. And since then, a lot of people start interacting more in the IRC, and it's really helping us. The other thing that I didn't mention here is about the bridge that we created. We have also bridges between Matrix and we have IRC, Matrix, and Telegram. Yeah, we have those 3 bridges. So any channel you type a message, it will instantly be shared with the other two. So it's really good to have that. The second thing that we deployed is the wiki, the one that we just talked early. We took a look at that time in the Debian's wiki, the official one, but some small things on that wiki we didn't like it. We want something more modern and easy to use, and that's why we choose this. This is also an open source project, and we deploy our wiki that is in this link, wiki.debianbsb.org, and we start putting content inside. So we already have some content about how-tos, installations, and some other things. We are getting to the point to develop more, but that's just the beginning. And last but not least, we have deployed also an instance of Nextcloud. For those who don't know, Nextcloud is just like a Google Drive or storage that you can add images, markdown files, docs, spreadsheets, everything related to that you can store on it. And we use that a lot doing MiniDebConf to store the photos of everyone's cell phones and cameras. That is still in DebConf. Sometimes I see Google Photos share links around, and once we deployed this, everyone was just grabbing a link and uploading all the photos to it. It was pretty good to have that as well. We also are using now to create documents. So normally private documents we develop inside of our instance, of cloud instance. And after it's a good one, it's already documented well, or we want to share this externally, which we then add to the wiki. Doing presentations, uploading photos, everything. So everyone in the Debian Brasília team receives 10 gigabytes of storage when you logged in. And both of the tools that I just talked about, the wiki and the cloud, are already connected to the Salsa SSO. So you don't need to create your account. You just log in. And the group of Salsas, all the groups in Salsa that you have linked to your account, you can share documents with them. So if you're part of a Go team or a Python team, and you want to create a doc and share with anyone in that team as well, you just put the team there, start typing the team, and it will autocomplete. So that's awesome. That's our website. We also updated recently. And this is one automation that we have inside of it. It's a Python automation that uses the UDD. It's a database, a PostgreSQL database from Debian that records all the contributions from the person. So we can do like a select from the name of the person. And we created an automation on top of it to put that information in the website. So right now we have, the last time I ran the automation, we have like 121 uploads from everyone in the Brasilia. And for experimental, we have 22. And if you look in the website, you can visit /contributions, contribuições, it's in Portuguese, I think. But you also can see each contribution individually for the people.
Okay, there we go. So for us, Debian contributors, the year ends at DebConf, and the new one starts right after this DebConf. So it's time to think what we want to do ahead, like for this next year until the next DebConf. And it's I think we did a lot of stuff, right? 122 uploads. We come up with the mentorship, the MiniDebConf, but yeah, not enough for us. We want to conquer the world, like Debian will conquer the world. So how can we keep improving things? One of the things is write more documentation, and documentation in Portuguese for us because, as Sergio said, 80% of the Brazilian people don't speak English, so it's a barrier for them to start contributing. That's our aim lower that barrier with the wiki in Portuguese. So what can we do? We can improve doing packaging tutorials. I don't know, maybe you can't read here, but Right now, we only have a SBuild tutorial, how to install SBuild and configure it. We only have a send mail, how to set up send mail, to send emails to Debian and all. And we do have a bit about GPG keys. But we are missing some packaging tutorials. I think Samuel is looking forward to it. And he will contribute to it, but we want to make pretty extensive documentation. But Debian is not limited to packaging. We have a lot of other fronts to contribute to, and they are not here in the wiki. We don't say anything about it. We don't talk about localization, that is translation to our language. We are not talking anything about internationalization, that is get things ready for translations. We have a lot of teams in Debian, a lot of them need help, so we can lower the stress on people. So we have a lot of teams, like publicity team, www team, the webmasters, a lot of others that people can contribute. So our aim is to put these other channels of contributions here so people can decide what they want to do and how they want to help Debian. Now I think I will just pass the microphone.
The most part of us has studied in the University of Brazilian. So the most part of activities we done, it's in university. So we want talk about free software and Debian in other places outside the university, engage people to use Debian and help them to installing. And we bring newcomers, a lot of newcomers, but only a few people stay contributing and stay engaged with the community. In MiniDebConf, for example, 18 persons made upload packages, and just 2 people continue to contribute. So we want trace a strategy to engage more people and keep them interested. So the Brazilian community, it's very engaged to package. So we want diversify our forms of contributing, like involves more with Debian installer, translate, documentation, self-CI. And we want to improve our setup and make it 100% free. And finally, the next year, the Debian Brasília wants to help Paulo to organize the MiniDebConf in Belo Horizonte. And yes.
So maybe you still don't know, but we are planning to do one MiniDebConf each year in Brazil. And also we have plans to have a Latin MiniDebConf, so each year too. So be aware.
Yeah. And the video.
That's for Santiago.
Hello. Yeah, and the video team, we are talking with Paulo as well to see if we can have some equipments to have a better quality for the streaming that we are planning to do. So I hope we get that.
And also contribute back to video team, like to have the local video team is not to have a video team apart from the Debian video team, it's just to have someone in there that knows how to set up things and set things properly. So this is the main idea.
Yeah. And that's it. We have some time, I think, for questions. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Does anyone have some questions for the team? Anyone on IRC? Nothing there?
So, congratulations for your very dynamic community. I have a question about the sponsors. So most of the sponsors are from the local team, isn't it?
Not at all. Like the sponsors, like the Debian Brazil is not only local in the Brasilia at all. Like we have, for example, Sergio that is in Canada.
Yeah, but
So
from Brazilians.
yeah, but Sergio is not from Brasilia at all. Like there are no connections from Brasilia. But yeah, so we found sponsors that way. A friend of Kanashiro that knows that wants to join the Debian Brasilia, but normally it's someone that speaks Portuguese at the moment. That's what we.
Now, there is a cool thing happening because, well, we are contributing to teams too. So like the Python team, the Ruby team, and all. And when we open merge requests, sometimes people from the teams are accepting and making the upload. So it's a thing that is starting to happen. It's not, I mean, it's not limited to the Brazilians. Everyone can make the upload. Right now, as we set up, all the mentors are Brazilians, but we can extend that, I think.
Yeah, and to be a mentor, you don't need to be a DD for that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
sure.
be like anyone.
Yeah, for the mentors, DD is not a requirement. Obviously, to make the upload, yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You want to be a sponsor for us? Come.
All right. Anyone else? Sure. I'll come to you.
So while that happens, we were informed via Matrix that we didn't introduce ourselves. So Arthur.
Is it? I think it's okay.
No.
So Arthur is a contributor. I am a DM. Sergio is a DM. Aquila is a newcomer, and Thais is also a newcomer from the Brazilian local team.
So my question is, have you thought of translating some of your tutorials to English? It would be a new, I think, a new thing in Debian that document is produced in Portuguese, because I think what you're producing, there might be some things that would be good for the greater community, especially targeting newbies. Which, from my contact with newbies, there are many challenges, and you are creating new documentation, but in Portuguese. So we could also think and try to bring it back to the global community. Just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, at the beginning we thought about doing everything in English. But because of that, you already mentioned the barrier, we choose Portuguese. But we have plans to do that migration in the future. It's just we are not doing right now because we have it's better to have more documentation than translating what we have. And once we have more documentation, that's also more work for us because every time we update documentation in Portuguese, we need also to update in English. But our wiki already has support for that. And we have that in our backlog. We just we don't have enough people to do all that work now.
By instance, I was not talking. I think it will be more work for you. I think we from the global should be doing that. Actually, the global Debian community should be watching, especially those who speak Portuguese. And I talk to myself. So we could also volunteer to. I'm actually volunteering to do that. Okay. To look at what you're producing and trying to bring it back to the Debian community.
Nice.
So no more work for you. I know you're doing a great job, and I think it's totally okay what you're doing. And just say, I'll pay more attention.
Thank you.
Thanks. I do think we have time for one last quick quick question?
We've got a very quick question. Yeah, we've got a minute.
Anything?
Anyone else? IRC? Anything else? Okay.
Okay, so thanks everyone to join. We will be at the DebConf, so you can reach out to us and ask questions and everything. So yeah, thanks for everyone.
Thanks, guys from Brazil. You're doing an amazing job, and keep on going. Well done.
Oh.